So, hello and welcome to the second episode.
Number 2.
It is. Thanks for explaining what 2 is, Jack. What an honour it is to work alongside you. So anyway, welcome to the second episode, as we've established, of the podcast Duck-Sized Horses. I'm Nathan Herat. For those of you that don't know who I am, what can I tell you about myself?
Former quiz host now.
Former quiz host now, yes.
Officially
Former quiz host now.
Sorry to bring that up.
Thank you. Sore spot. We'll gloss over it.
Quite a rubbish move on my part.
We'll gloss over it. Aspiring stand-up. Since we recorded the first podcast, I've got new glasses.
Very nice. I feel very bad that I didn't notice.
Did you not notice them,
No.
Jack? How could you not notice them?
I'm not quite the most observant at the best of times. You didn't even notice my new haircut.
I'd noticed it. I just didn't want to comment because I didn't know if it had changed from the last time we saw it.
I guess that leads nicely on to who I am. I'm Jack, and I'm the big bold nerd out of this ensemble.
Yes, you are, and we are coming to you from the epicenter of excitement that some people describe as my living room. Would you like to explain to the people who are listening what the point of this podcast is?
So, this is Duck-Sized Horses, and the podcast is all about the questions which you ask yourselves, which would you rather do? So episode 1, our pilot episode, was the classic question.
I'll let you read the question because I struggled with that question.
Was, would you rather fight one horse-sized... No, got it wrong already.
Smooth.
Again, so we should have picked an easier name.
We probably should.
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses?
Nailed.
Or one horse-sized duck?
Nailed. There we are.
So it's questions like that which we would go about answering.
If we could say them.
If we could say them. And we invite you to send us in the questions, of which we've had quite a fair few.
We have had a lot. Thank you to people who've sent them in. And we have actual fans, I should say.
Real life fans.
I was saying this before we recorded this. I actually met people that like our podcast.
Fantastic.
Which was fantastic.
So, there's me, there's you.
There's me, you, Mum upstairs, I suppose.
Yep. Abby likes mine, I think, as well.
Your girlfriend does, yep. So that's
that's at least 4. So
that's at least 4. So we're doing well. We're building. We're building. But yes, thank you to those people who I met at the Festival of Ideas last week for coming up and speaking to me.
And shouting duck.
And basically shouting duck at me, but it's lovely to have you aboard. So thank you to them.
Again, big thanks to everybody who sent in the question. We've had quite a fair few.
We have had a lot of
compiled
questions.
into the cleverly named question spreadsheet of wonder.
Perfect.
That we've picked a random question from this week, but we'll come on to that in a little moment.
We will.
In the meantime, how can people get in touch with us?
So there are various ways you can get in touch with us. Twitter to start with, at DSH Podcast. We have a Facebook page, because we're just that cool, called Duck-Sized Horses. And I suppose you could call it old-fashioned in the modern day sense. You can email us at ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. We really do love to hear from you, don't we, Jack?
Yes.
It is delightful. So get your questions in, any comments, get involved in our competition, which we'll talk about in a bit.
We can talk about it now.
We can talk about it now. Should I talk about the competition?
Let's talk about it now. So each week we run a competition. I say each week, each month, every episode.
Planning is flawless for this.
Yes. as is rehearsal and practicing who's going to say which part and which bit comes where. So planning.
But we've had a lovely meal, haven't we, Jack? Before this,
I think it's the ice cream's gone to my head.
Got brain freeze.
So each episode we have a competition. We'd like you, as well as sending in questions for future episodes, we'd like you to send in a photo of you with a duck or a horse or both.
Yes.
And we have a winner.
We do. We have a winner from last month's pilot episode. The winner, who sent in a brilliant picture, to be fair, is a great
It's
picture.
great.
I'm assuming
Fantastic.
you're very techie, aren't you, in this? So I guess you're going to put it up on our Facebook pages and Twitter and such. But yeah, so the winners this month, or the month just gone, were our friend Lucy's nieces. We probably should have got their names to make it clearer, but to be fair...
You have some rubber ducks on their way to you as soon as the postman delivers them.
And we can sign them.
To my house first and then to your house. But two lovely brand new rubber ducks are on their way to you.
Exactly.
As we speak.
Signed by us at some point.
I bought a lot of rubber ducks today.
You did? How many did you buy?
Well... Quite a few, more so than would be considered a normal amount. So we put it this way: we've got to make at least 50 episodes of this to make it financially viable.
Crikey.
In the long run.
There is a challenge.
So let's crack on.
Shall I try and read the question to you, because it went so well last month reading the question. So this is question 2 for episode 2. Would you rather have free flights for a year or the power of flight for a day? Mr. Higgins, you're up.
So, just before we start, this was sent in by your writing partner, Sim?
It was, yes. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot who sent it in. Thank you, Sim, if you're listening for your question.
So, 100 or...
Not 100. Not 100 at all. There is no number associated with this question. I'll reread it for you.
Good.
Would you rather have free flights for a year or the power of flight for a day? Off you go, sir.
I would rather have free flights for a year.
So you've gone for free
I've
flights
gone for
the
free
year.
Flights. What about yourself?
Well, shock horror, I've gone for the opposite.
Oh.
I've gone for the power of flight for a day.
Oh, wow. Okay, right.
Sim, you've split the jury.
This is great because we in our first episode we
both
agreed.
So
we both agreed to fight the massive horse.
You went for fight. I went for
Fight
taming.
the massive duck, even.
Yeah, I went for taming said beast.
So you'd want to fly?
I would like to fly for the day. Now, I was saying to Jack again before we recorded this that I found this question quite difficult to answer, because I am in fact scared of flying and heights, which are two sort of key factors of flying, really.
Well, you're only really scared of flying if you're in a plane, because you've never flown.
I've never flown
before.
freely, that's true. And I aspire to do so, apparently.
Yes.
But I think that is because secretly, and I've thought a lot about this, I would quite like to be a superhero. I was thinking about I thought initially Batman, but Batman doesn't fly, does he? He's got a gadget, though, hasn't he?
He's got his little gadgets, and his Batcopter falls more into my thing, and because he's a millionaire, he'd have free flights.
Oh, true, Batcopter's more your side.
I should point out, so we did throw this question out onto Twitter.
You have
at
the
DSH
poll.
Podcasts, and it looks like you're with the minority here.
Am I?
Yes, so Power of Flight for a Day only got 24% of the vote.
I must say, I'm quite surprised at that.
I reckon it's for the reason I've chosen is that you got to think about the long game. You got to think about how many places you can go to, how long you'd like to spend there.
I see. Now, when I was considering both options, stupidly, I assumed it was free flights for a year on the same journey.
Right.
So I didn't think about the prospect of going elsewhere.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
Ambitious. So if you could fly yourself, presumably you'd only go to
the one. Apparently, I'd only go to the one location.
You pop to the shops and
I've clearly misunderstood how a plane works. I think there.
I see. You've got to think about how many different. You could travel the world. You don't have to stop in one place. You could go from one to the next. You could hop around.
That's true.
You land in one city, go and have a look around, jump back on another one. They'd be like, we need to see your ticket. So it's fine, it's me. I'm the guy with the free flights.
So you don't even have like a pass, you're just assuming they remember your face.
Yep.
To let you on.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm the guy with the friend who flew once for a day. And they go, you picked the other one. On you go. Get on the plane. Where are you going? I don't know. You're the pilot. You tell me.
True. But I feel like
not
the experience...
Not creature at the airport.
Not unless it's a very poorly run plane. But I feel like the experience of being able to fly yourself without a contraption would be more freeing, I think. That's what I was thinking. It's, as a better experience of flying, I think if you're flying yourself, you're flying, whereas if you're in a plane, you're being flown. You're not actually the flyer or the flyee. This has got very philosophical. I apologise.
But I'm going to hit you with some...
well, don't hit me. I think that's unnecessary.
Well, you're not a massive duck, so I think you're safe. I'm going to hit you with some thoughts I've had.
Oh, God. Go on.
Number one, you've got the power of free flight, so that would be your sort of superpower.
True.
You wouldn't have the power of unlimited fitness.
True.
You'd have to think, like, I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit like running or jogging. Or
which, I'm thinking about that. Would be
pretty
tricky.
Exhausting.
True, that's very true.
And I imagine flying would take some kind of...
you'd have to train, I suppose, wouldn't
physical,
you?
And you'd have to know when the day was coming up. Because by the time we were fit enough to do a big flight...
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And also thinking about it from the superhero thing again, having a mobility disorder, I suppose, is not a classic superhero situation, because it'd be like, don't use a getaway car, that's just not fair, even though I can fly. I just would find that difficult. I think I probably haven't thought that through. Also, as well, like that sort of little snippet of thought came from the classic DreamWorks film B Movie, when they ask Barry B. Benson, look at you using a reference,
why he was walking everywhere, and he said flying was exhausting.
Oh. Well, I didn't think about the exertion of flying. Also, how would it affect the time, I suppose? Because if you're only flying for a day, and you fly somewhere that's, say, 12 hours away, you haven't really got any time to do anything, because you have to turn around and come back.
Exactly. You'd be knackered.
So it wouldn't affect, like, you wouldn't fly faster, free flight. It wouldn't affect the time.
I don't think you would. I think if you had this one superpower...
It would be regular time.
Yeah, you're not Superman in this instance. You can't fly anywhere.
Okay.
You've got your one wish. I'd like to be able to fly.
Yeah.
You get your wish, but you're not from the planet Krypton. You don't have all these other superhuman abilities.
Yeah.
You don't have super strength. Don't have laser eyes.
True.
Can you hear further as well?
What, Superman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can do other things.
Maybe. Hear further.
Can't write a good article at the paper though.
No. But it's quite good at a disguise apparently, because all he has to do is wear glasses and people are utterly baffled.
True. Glasses are baffling. In going back to the start of this episode, I think. Yeah,
we proved that by the fact you didn't notice my glasses.
Exactly.
My glasses are like Superman's glasses, just unrecognisable.
So you'd be knackered. Here's the second reason why.
Yeah.
It sort of feeds into the being knackered bit.
Yeah.
I would describe myself as chronically lazy.
Chronically lazy.
Yeah. And I quite like sitting down. I quite like if I had free flights everywhere, I could have a little rest.
Yeah.
I could have a few drinks on the plane. I could have as much to eat as I wanted on the plane.
That's a good point.
Because assuming they're free flights, so I could pick and choose what type of flight I was on.
So you're assuming you get the catering and everything all rolled into the deal.
I know it seems unfair to say, I get all these extra caveats because I'm flying.
Well, it does for me, who's outside the window at this point, wishing I could
knackered.
Knackered. Because catering would be an issue as well for me, I suppose. If I'm free flight.
How many sort of pre or during flight snacks could you put in a sort of duffel bag and fly with?
Exactly, yeah. But how would you eat it?
And it would affect your aerodynamic ability, surely.
That's very true, yeah. That's a very good point. I didn't think of the catering before. But I will throw back the ball into your court in my defence. I think if you can fly yourself, the likelihood of hijacking must go down, surely.
Surely. Yeah.
Because that if someone hijacks you while you're flying yourself, that is a committed person.
Yeah.
And also you're assuming that they've got the same power as you.
Very true. There is the danger aspect.
Yeah.
Also, it's like you wouldn't ever have to wait to taxi.
No, that's true. There's no check-ins or anything, is there? You just go.
Yeah.
But then I suppose I put down here as a con, if you've got the power of flight, entertainment system, like onboard entertainment, is going to be quite poor.
Well, you get a Spotify playlist. You could listen to could listen to what is obviously the start of an award-winning podcast.
True, yeah.
On your flight as well.
Listen to us if you wanted to.
If your journey's half an hour away.
True, yeah. If it's a half-hour journey, you could listen to us. But then you won't get the little cool little mini plane grid thing where you can see where you're flying. But then I suppose you'd know because you picked where you're flying.
Where would you fly to if you could fly?
Where would I fly to? I don't know. I didn't think where to go. I just thought about the experience and the being in flight, but I didn't actually assign a location, which was probably poor planning because I'd just waste my time flying about but not landing.
It'd be like when you go on Google Earth for the first time, the first thing you do is look up where you live.
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
hover above your house and go, oh, that's cool.
That's kind of, I suppose, what I do.
I
I
can see
just
that
hover
frisbee I
above my
lost
house.
on the roof.
Exactly. I just hover about.
Yeah.
Be quite a cool way to arrive, though. I'd probably go to a friend's house, just turn up,
Just poof,
swoop
in their
in,
garden.
swoop in. That would be quite cool. I
That'd
think
be
that's
good.
an entrance.
That would be pretty cool. I think if I were in your shoes, I think I'd try and fly somewhere.
Where would you try and fly if you were in my
Somewhere
shoes?
like I'm still in like holiday head mode.
You're still in holiday
with
mode.
The plane, so I'd be somewhere like near a beach,
Yeah.
or a nice sort of city. Probably show off a little bit.
Well, I think if you're flying by yourself, you've got to show off a bit, haven't you,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
That's not fair. You're not a shrinking violet flying, are you,
No.
really? I think
Well, okay, all right then. So you haven't really picked anywhere. I'm gonna try and make you pick.
you're going to make
place
me pick
now.
somewhere.
Assuming that you don't have the sort of physical exhaustion and you can fly at the
Anywhere.
speed of light like Superman.
Yeah. Where would I go?
Where would you go?
I think I'd go Antarctica. I
Yeah.
know it's a long shot
That's cool.
because I'm quite the
quite a poke.
fan of penguins, and I'd quite like to go and see them.
That'd be good.
But then I suppose if I was going to Antarctica, I'd have to wrap up quite warm, which would affect my flying ability, I would assume.
Well, you don't have to hang around that long. You could
That's true.
fly there, get a bit chilly, then fly somewhere warm, fly back again.
That's true,
Do it in
yeah.
a couple-
Break it up.
Yeah.
Break it up. So where would you go if you're having your free flights? Like top 3 locations you would fly to first on your... I'm assuming it's your plane now. You're kind of taking ownership
so
of
like
this.
like a private jet.
Yeah,
That'd be quite
almost
nice.
like a private jet. So where would you
May
go?
as well be.
Your-
I'd
Top 3 locations.
well, I think this is mainly because of what I was doing last night, and I was
Steady.
I was
Steady. This is a family podcast, Jack.
going through my phone, looking at some very saucy photos of some tacos.
Oh, you live it up, don't you? You live it up.
From this restaurant in California, and they looked incredible. So I think that'd be number one.
Do you want to drop the name of the restaurant?
I could do California Tacos or Cali Tacos, I think it's
To
called.
be honest, I probably could have predicted that
Yeah.
restaurant.
I mean, like, it does what it says on the tin.
It does, doesn't
really.
it? We're in California and we sell
so
tacos. Let's call it California tacos.
I think I'd go there.
Nice.
Seems pretty nice. And then maybe somewhere in Asia, maybe like India, would be quite cool to go to. Yeah, and then don't know. It's quite a few places I haven't been to, so yeah, top 3. I'm struggling
Top
for a
three,
few. I
yes.
would like, would go to Antarctica as well. Maybe we meet up there.
Yeah,
and
maybe we
see
could
the
link
penguins.
Link up there.
But no, but yeah, I think free flights definitely has to win for those reasons.
Yeah, I think so.
And again, you brought in you sort of like picking apart your own argument.
I
a little
have
bit.
basically shot myself in the foot, haven't I, really?
Yeah, in-flight entertainment.
Yeah,
Snacks.
true.
You could wear whatever you want. Or you have all your clothes in your. You could pre-pack before you go away.
Yeah, but you'd have clothes on if you were flying.
Oh yeah, I
Freely,
mean, but
wouldn't you?
you could you'd
change
be
your
a little bit
clothes.
more prepared. Yeah,
That's true. And I suppose you have better human contact, like there's the possibility to chat to people when you're just on a plane,
mm-hmm.
whereas when you're flying by yourself, you don't get that luxury of other people.
No. Well, you say luxury. Some people can be a bit of a.
Maybe we've just established that you're more sociable than I am.
Well, I don't know. Like, going from our last episode, it's obviously like a social kind of maniac.
Yeah, social killer.
Like nice to be happy with everybody on a lovely plane, but better not be a duck on the plane.
Yeah, because you will probably kill it
Yeah.
brutally.
So say the boots on the other foot.
Yeah.
We've both got a swap now. Then
Okay.
I've got to fly.
You've got to fly.
You've got
I've
to
got to be flown.
You've got to be flown.
Okay.
Talk me through the benefits of being flown. What do you see? I mean, because you've seen a lot of cons so far.
Yeah, I suppose, like I said earlier on, not realising that you could pick at various locations, that quite appeals to me, to be able to see a lot of the world,
Yeah.
and especially in a year, that would be good. And as we've talked about, entertainment systems and catering would be a lot better. But then I'm not a big fan of flying, so I would find that bit tricky. But then I suppose if you've got films and stuff to watch,
You've got a year to get used to it.
and a year, over the year, I suppose I'd get used to it.
Start off like little flights, sort of just
Short trips,
around the UK maybe, and then
Yeah,
one or two abroad, and then some sort of long haul ones.
yeah, do like a longer trip.
Well, here's the thing then.
Yeah, go
Here's
on.
something I didn't think of. Could you include flights to space as well? Because technically it's a flight.
I suppose it is. Yeah. No, I didn't think about flight to space.
You know, there's that song, Fly Me to the Moon.
There is that song. Don't sing it. But there is that song. There is that song. I didn't think about space. Though, controversially, I don't really want to see space.
What?
Does that make me a bad... I feel like you think I'm a bad person now, that I'm not that keen on...
I'd like to see space.
Well, it's the flaw I have with space, right? I sense we may have gone off topic slightly. But the flaw I have with space is... Well, it's twofold. One, it's a bit high.
Yeah, again,
And
feeding
again,
into
kind of,
your height thing.
having an issue
Surely
with height.
if you're at that high, though.
True. But it's a bit high.
I mean, because I get a little bit wobbly if I go look around the castle and look over the edge and go, oh.
Yeah, but I don't even like going on the top deck of a double-decker bus.
Ah, okay,
I start
right.
feeling queasy at that point. So, yeah, height is an issue with space. And also, it's quite far, isn't it? It's quite a long trip.
It's a couple of miles.
Is it really only a couple of miles?
Yeah, it's not very far.
I thought it was a lot further than that. Clearly, I failed at science,
It's,
didn't I?
I'm going to use this lovely
Moment to Google.
internet device I have here to look up how far away space is.
I've always thought space was really far away.
The edge of space is 62 miles away.
Well, see, that's still quite far.
Oh, it's just about from here to
Is it like Reading? Maybe a bit.
Worcester, maybe?
Worcester. Well, yeah, now you've said that, maybe I would consider it.
Just to give some context, we're in Bristol.
We are in Bristol, yeah. We are in
so
Bristol.
60 odd miles away.
Yeah.
Worcester.
Well, we're in
think.
Longwell Green if we're being pernickety.
Yes.
But yeah, so, yeah, like I say, I thought space was quite far, but 62 miles doesn't seem that far, I suppose. But
I suppose there's not really anywhere to land.
That's
so
true,
the
yeah.
thing.
I guess it would be
Go on the
a
old
flyby type thing.
Vomit Comet.
Vomit comet.
That plane they've got where you kind of go up and you feel sort of microgravity and you kind of
Oh, yeah.
float around and then you...
Is it like a zero gravity type?
Yeah, and then you barf at the end, I think.
Well, as I say,
Actually, I
wouldn't want to barf. Considering I get queasy on a double-decker bus, I don't think putting me in a plane that is renowned for vomiting is probably a good idea.
I think they need to rethink that name and the whole marketing strategy.
Do they really call it the
Yeah,
Vomit
it's called
Comet?
the Vomit Comet.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
not something you've come up with in your spare time?
Genuinely, you can Google it if you want
I
to.
might Google it after this recording. The Vomit Comet.
Vomit Comet.
Right, so, boot back on your foot, sir.
Sure.
A lot of boots changing foots tonight.
There is.
So, if you were able to have the power of free flight, what would you do with that power, sir?
I think I'd do what you do.
Yeah.
Like just kind of, to begin with, kind of just float
Hover
around
about.
and sort of see, maybe drop in on a couple friends.
Yeah. Quite literally, you could drop in on them, I suppose,
definitely.
through the ceiling or
Yeah.
something.
Sort of, it'd be quite good. I'd try and maybe take a friend with me, but then I'd have to sort of like carry them.
I was going to say, because you're assuming there that your power is transferable to the...
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, I've...
Friend.
or kind of like a Peter Pan kind of thing.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So, or I don't know, or it could be like a magic carpet thing.
Yeah.
Actually, no, carpets aren't allowed.
No, I think, carpets.
If I've started this by saying we're not allowed a lot of physical exertion,
carpets.
then we're definitely not allowed rugs or any kind
rugs.
of shag pile at all.
And basically, if you've got a rug, have you not basically built a plane of sorts, really?
Is a rug a plane?
In my head, a rug is a plane.
Okay,
It's a very weird world I live in.
that seems like a perfect point to finish that. There.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to pick a winner.
Last time I won. So
Last time was quite easy as well because we both picked the same thing.
this has been a difficult one to
You
decide.
talked me around to your way of not fighting the duck.
Yeah.
But no,
I think to be fair,
I kind of feel like
I think you may have won this.
yeah.
It's a late goal, to make it sort of 2-1 in extra time. But I think I would side with you because, as I say, when I was thinking of answering this question, I didn't consider the various location option. And I think that's probably smarter. And just the logistics of being able to fly yourself, it's quite complicated, as we talked about. How would you eat and what entertainment would you have? Whereas on a plane, it's already sorted for you and all wrapped up in a nice sort of package. So I'm gonna yield to you.
You're gonna come fly with me.
I am gonna come fly with you.
Good.
I'm conceding on
Welcome
that one.
aboard.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely.
Where are we gonna go? Go get some tacos.
Yeah, let's go to California Tacos.
Fantastic. Right then, so that's the end of our second episode.
That is. I think it went incredibly smoothly.
About the second episode about flying.
Yeah.
We've got quite a lot of questions to sort of pick through, but by all means keep sending them through.
Yeah, keep sending them. We will add them to our
spreadsheet of wonders.
Exactly.
We'll pick a new one for in a month's time.
Indeed.
And again, the ways in which you can do that are as follows.
So Twitter, it's at DSH Podcast. We have the Facebook page, which is Duck-Sized Horses, or you can email us at ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. Send us your questions, comments, and of course your pictures for the competition.
Yes.
If you're wanting to win a signed rubber duck by us.
Yes. But in the meantime, don't go too quackers. No.
Were you trying a catchphrase?
Trying a catchphrase. I'm gonna boot the catchphrase out of the window of this plane.
I think until the next time, we are off to California Tacos. I think
yes.
On a plane.
We'll see you there. Mine's a large one.
We are utilising that free flight.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.